Guy you're very fond of, Dominick Cruz. He's certainly been very open about how much you like him. He takes on Joseph. Talk to me about that fight. I'm sure you think Joseph's going to win. Tell me how and why.
Basically, I think in that fight, Joseph's the better fighter. You know, I think Dominick Cruz's advantage is that he's a little bit bigger naturally, but Joseph's been putting on weight since the last time they fought. He's gotten on a serious, strength and conditioning program, and the difference was the takedowns there, and Dominick wasn't really doing anything with the takedowns. He was taking him down, and Joseph was getting back up, but that was the difference in the fight. So Joseph's aware of that now, is thinking a little bit more of, avoiding and being more offensive with his wrestling, and basically has learned a lot from the fight and gotten it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Well, I joke about your feelings about Dominick. We know he's a guy, he's one of the only people I've ever heard you, if not the only person I've ever heard you speak out that you really don't like. How anxious would you be to rematch him? You beat him a while back. Let's say that Joseph wins and Dominick loses. Would you want to fight him? Would you only want to continue moving up towards the title? Where is he on your radar? Because it's always seemed to me like a fight that you wanted.
On my radar, he's a guy that I beat, and it was a minute and 40 seconds or something like that when we fought. I can't remember how long it was, but he's gotten a lot better, and I'd love to have that fight again. I think there's some super fights out there for me, and maybe Miguel Torres and Mizuzaki. Those are two fights right now that I'm looking at. But just kind of see what happens with Joseph and maybe go back up. And I still have plans to go to Thailand and go to Holland and work with some serious kickboxing and go back up eventually and fight 45s again. So there's a lot of different options for me. Dominick Cruz is a guy I would definitely like to fight again. And yeah, there aren't many people I don't like out there. And just the guy rubs me the wrong way, and for lack of a better way to describe him, he just seems kind of like a dope. And I read this thing in the UFC magazine about how he had to grow up and become a man because he was kicked out of his apartment or wherever it was for throwing parties when he was 19 when his mom was there, and then he had to grow up and be a man. I'm like, what kind of sob story is that, dude? He's throwing parties when he's 19 when his mom leaves town, so then she kicked him out and he had to be off on his own. Dude, you're 19, bro. Quit throwing parties at your mom's house when she's out of town. So pretty much a legal adult there. So I don't know, man. He just rubbed me the wrong way, the way he was disrespectful when we first fought, and just the way he carries himself, and I can't wait to see Joseph beat him up.
There you go. So we always get to teammates and friends, Urijah. We just had Scotty on. He said, I'm friends with Urijah, I'm friends with Joseph, but I would fight either one of them. I assume you would fight Scotty. Would you? And the magic question, would you ever fight Joseph?
Scott and I, our friendship started out as rivals. He was at Boise State, I was at UC Davis, so it was always kind of one of those things where we would compete against each other for sure if we had to. As a good friend, I wouldn't be putting my vote in to fight against him. But if it were coming to that, I would definitely fight Jorgensen. It's good for both of us. It's a business. It's a business thing. But Joseph is a different story. I wouldn't fight Joseph. He's like my brother, and I feel like I've been there from the beginning of his career, and all the way along the way, and I wouldn't enjoy fighting Scott or a couple other guys at that weight for that matter, but I wouldn't fight Joseph.